Well, going from great men to just the absolute stupidity that still goes on in the gaming space right now, Sony replaces the word hard with crime in Stellar Blade after being accused of racism. Now, for folks who aren't aware, there's a lot of haterade going around between the likes of Kotaku and my girl Alyssa Mercante, who still has me blocked. That
Me
Stellar
too.
Blade has a problem with, there's attractive characters and it's a male gaze issue, but people have been clamoring for this game. So guess what they find? And the game isn't even really out truly yet.
Yeah,
You
some
guys know about the
graffiti that
story yet?
lines up with I guess some a neon sign, and people who see
Oh,
racism and everything are putting two and two together and going, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't get all
yeah.
that.
So this is what we're talking about here, right? So, and shout out to Grums. He says, "Who snitched on Stellar Blade?" It was probably some freaking dev. Who knows what it is? Hard R. The screenshot is so random, and only a milquetoast gaming journalist could have been so offended as to demand Sony take it down. They are the only ones who had access to the game, and IGN credits the photo to themselves. Now, this is, how would I put this? It looks cringe when you see it, but racist, come on now. Look over to the R where it says
Yeah.
R stop. That's obviously a train station. Go ahead, Retro Nerd Girl. You guys
Oh no,
had
when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, hard R, like hard. Are they? I mean, I'm not getting where the racist part is, but maybe I'm just clueless. I'm too retro to understand. But this looks like hard R is something that you usually say when something's really gritty and is like R rated. That's where I was thinking, but I guess it means something more than that.
From my growing up, we the hard R was like how you identify somebody that's like racist, because we say like we say with an A, or in songs you hear it with an A, and then somebody drops it with a hard R, you go, wait a minute, what's going on with this?
pick the needle up off the record.
I got it.
But even with that's not inherently racist. It was never inherently racist. It's kind of like that. If anything, that would be that's like a fun like joke to put on something. But for them to, I don't know, get upset about something like that, it's so small. It's like what's the deal? Like,
well,
I don't know.
It's really weird because I didn't even see that.
How about who's to say that there's not an E there next to that R or anything else? I mean, there could be an unilluminated character next to the R. You don't really know. And how would they even know that it meant that? Who actually designed Stellar Blade to begin with? Shift Up? So I have no idea where that studio is located. All I know is the game looks amazing. And this is the thing that they tried to do to stir up something negative against it, because it, as you guys pointed out, men might be interested in this.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
we have to stop it right away then.
Well,
the games journalists, attempting to take this game down because, well, the lead character is just too attractive and she's in these incredibly stupid, sexy outfits, according to Games Radar Plus, has been tweeting about there. That isn't really resonating with a lot of gamers. So it's like, oh, well, let's switch to the racism thing. And again, I mean, they really were stretching for this one because, like Culture said, I mean, this could have been graffiti that was roughly translated from the original makers of the actual game itself, and it just happened to be that these two things lined up in this way right here. Again, racists tend to be more overt than this, I would think. This is seeing racism in anything that you're viewing, because you view everything through a racial lens and finding it.
It's like they're
And
trying to outdo people in what like being woke and stuff. You know, it's like they take one thing that doesn't mean anything at all in this context, and then they try to go ahead and accuse the very game of being woke because of the fact that there's like a lot of people out there that's actually taking interest in the game and stuff. It's interesting because of the fact that wokeism and stuff they're putting out there, like it's something that can be embraced by everybody, everyone's and welcome by everyone, but at the same time it's basically a religious system that's slowly dying, but at the same time it's still trying to force people to conform to the woke ideology itself and not conform to the various other religions like Christianity, Islam, as well as Judaism and stuff too. But the fact of the matter is, it begins to target all different networks that you're trying to associate with that's connected to other non-woke nodes and stuff, which is what's damaging about woke ideology itself. It doesn't allow different members to talk about or consume media of non-woke things and stuff, and those things have to be touched, which is one of the reasons why they're so infected with infecting organizations, kind of like how Sweet Baby Inc. is doing with these companies, but these companies and everything, like the same company that made Stellar Blade and stuff. I mean, this may seem like a slip up and stuff, but guess what? They're still going to win in the end. And why are they so immune to any like outside criticism, those who promoting the woke ideology and everything that they're facing right now? Because of the fact that they're trying to dehumanize people and stuff that's not a part of their cultural being, okay, or their cultural group, or whatever you want to call it, that they don't even see that their text are as meaningful coming from an honest place, okay? And this well said, well, wow. And you know what? It's amazing how they like welcome those who are Christians, Muslims, and everything, but they want them to go ahead and do it away with their teachings and stuff. So here we have on the altar of woke ideology, they're trying to go ahead and get celebrated to go ahead and try to change it up because of the fact that it says hard art in it when it doesn't even mean what they think it means.
Well, here's what I think. You have again a group of people who think that they are smarter than we are, who think that they are the end all and be all gatekeepers of gaming, who want to be offended on behalf of people who never asked them to be in the first place. All right. So Shift Up, which I believe that's a Japanese game dev company. Considering that's graffiti art, which you would see pretty much in any urban area. Shop, I'm like, hey, okay, I can see why they did that. The two together, I honestly, it's one of those things where you look at it, it's like, okay, it's just a little cringe putting them two together by accident, which I do believe is what happened. They weren't thinking like that. It's cringes. Yeah. Insulting? No, not really. Racist? Definitely not. Because you have these people out here who will see racism in everything. They'll see racism in a hot dog. And these people throw around this term racism with zero knowledge of what it is.
And yet
First
they never
replies to
experienced
Desmond
racism
Green.
themselves.
Exactly. They want something to be offended by. This is obviously one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, we can see how that would look. But this is not something where it's like racism.
Lorena,
I mean,
I guarantee you all this right now, that those who are accusing and stuff, they're the people who are from these different big companies and all of that, as well as like possibly any consulting firms and stuff that's putting this out there, trying to be hidden under like different online accounts and stuff, social media accounts and stuff. That could be bots and all of that. But guess what? It's like this is all coming down to the old tricks and stuff. Yes, I'm calling them old tricks because we're aware of what they're doing right now. All right. Even the Normans are aware of it. And you know what? I wouldn't even surprised because these are the competitors and stuff, people who are competing against Stellar Blade and stuff. And guess who's actually conforming to it? Sony. They're foolishly trying to censor.
Yes, look at this.
Right now.
After they complain to Sony, then supposedly they go and replace it. I'm like, I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised because that's the environment right now that we have in in gaming right now. Well, I shouldn't say in gaming. I should say our overlords in gaming that want to be offended by everything, who want to have the power to push these companies to do what they want. So Sony, not a good look Bendon either.
But I do have to say this though, if you look at the before and after photos, it looks like they went for a shinier, even glossier outfit for our girl. So her, her assets do kind of like pop. So when they were like, okay,
I'll take that trade.
yeah.
I would totally take that trade.
Yeah, they were like, okay, we'll do something for you and we'll do something for ourselves.
Your terms are acceptable.
Yeah.
They're just upset because of the fact that their characters got bigger butts than their characters do.
You know what? Yeah. And if you think that's hilarious, we're going to get to it, I promise. You think that's hilarious. Fortnite now lets players block overly confrontational emotes, sparking vociferous debate. First of all, I can't stand Fortnite anyway, but it has nothing whatsoever to do with the emote. So I'm sorry. People are upset that, if you get taken out, you get yeeted, you get that headshot, and they decide to do the dance emoji, take the L emoji, emote.
Yeah.
When did this thing about hurt feelings come along in gaming? I mean, I don't understand.
We've been seeing it creep up for a while. We had, what was it, last year? A guy got banned from a tournament for teabagging his own teammate. That's been a thing for a while. It's just a thing that's going around now. People, and typically it's by people that are not good at games. They don't like being taunted, they don't like being made fun of. But I'm like, you know what? Like, that's real life. Like, we all grew up back in the day. It was video games, but it was also like, you play basketball, you play football, whatever you're doing with your friends, you suck at it. Everybody's gonna make fun of you. It just happens. I mean, you just build we're just slowly like building this entire like generation of like thin-skinned people that can't handle any kind of like confrontation, can't handle any kind of like talk. And the idea is, and the banner under it all is supposed to be like, oh, we're doing it to have fun. Everybody has to have fun. Games are about fun. I'm like, well, part of the fun is a competition. Like, it's like, if everybody's just sitting around, well, you can't lose at this game. You just walk around and do nothing and stuff. It's like, what's the point? What are we even doing? But it also, a little bit to me, is a bit of like I'll call it an op. I think it's also kind of trying to prep kids for like the day where we're like all be the day that they're hoping for will all be on Meta, like sitting in social circles, just sitting around talking to each other in like virtual rooms, stuff like that. You can't have problematic people in there. You can't have old school people in there talking trash and starting fights and causing problems, stuff like that. So it's kind of pathetic. But if you do Fortnite, you go after one of the biggest games out there, then other games are going to try to follow suit and do the same thing. So it's pretty pathetic, though.
Also reinforces mediocrity, right? Because it's like, dude, get good, scrub, is what we used to say right there. Little trash talk. Yes, it can be hurtful sometimes. Not saying that it can't be, but it can also be the inspiration to do better and actually, throw that trash talk back in their face, kind of thing. Like a good, I don't know, anime or manga would provide. Right. So it's like, why take this part out? I mean, again, I think Mike actually has a pretty good read on this. It's by people who aren't good themselves. So it's like, okay, well, please stop harassing me or whatever is the excuse here.
The same people that want this to happen are the same people that complain when like Elden Ring is too hard. I'm like, okay,
where's the easy mode?
Yeah, where's easy mode? Yeah, well, I can't play this because I'm not good at this game. I don't know how to get better. I don't want to get better. I just want to play it, and then put a review out and then walk away. It's like,
But wait, Mike, my friend, Sony's going to try to solve that problem for you, bud.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
they're gonna give you an AI to solve the game for you.
Like this voice.
It's pretty wild.
Terrible. Absolutely.
Terrible. I gotta laugh because and I'm glad CJ brought this up. These are the people that fail at the tutorial level of Cuphead. Man, and maybe it's just me, but if I'm playing the game, I expect to die spectacularly within the first couple of seconds. And if you've ever played Cuphead, man, you will die a lot. That's part of the fun. It's just like, how am I I need to figure this out. But that's what games used to be. You weren't able to just like beat them,
Yeah.
right away. And when I would play video games with my nephew, he would be like, Auntie, you're beating me. I said, suck it up. I'm not gonna be easy on you. Come on, you're gonna get beat by a girl. Come on, where your game at? Where your game at?
Gotta get better.
Constantly talking trash. I said, if you can beat me, you can pretty much beat anybody. So I'm like, it's okay. Walk it off. We'll get better. We'll get better. Walk it off.
I got a bad feeling about that in your future, Lorena, because let's suppose y'all play another game and stuff, and all of a sudden he beats you. Get prepared for all the trash talk he has prepared for you.
Oh, it's all right. I ran into that. I'm like, yeah, I had that coming, but hey,
you gotta take it now. Like all of a sudden they start beating you, and you go, yeah,
you got
better.
You do. Like he said, Auntie, I beat you. I said, well, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. So
Yeah.
I'm awful. I'm
all right.
so freaking awful.
Oh man.
Oh, I try. It depends. I can't. Competitive games, please. I used to scare my mom when I would play like Doom Eternal. She's like, that's not very ladylike. I'm like, I got demon skill.